Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome. As we transition and change seasons into autumn, we are reminded of the need to let go and surrender. We begin to start slowing down as we come closer to winter here in the Northern Hemisphere. This practice is a grounding restorative class to help you let go, trust, and surrender. Feel free to grab any props like blocks, a strap, or a bolster, and let's meet in a child's pose at the back of your space. Go ahead and bring your big toes together, knees wide, and begin to walk your head forward, melting your heart and head towards the ground. You may want to use a bolster in between the legs or a block under your forehead for some support. Start to soften your body and your breath. As you come into this pose, let your breath flow through you without force. Allow your breath to help you surrender to the pose and guide you deeper into yourself. Begin to lift your head up here. Walk your hands over to the right side of your mat and place your left hand on top of your right, breathing space into the left side body. Drop your head down here, softening in this pose. During autumn, the leaves turn colour, die, and fall to the floor so that the tree can replenish itself and welcome new leaves in the spring. Just as this cycle happens in nature, we are reminded that shedding the old is needed and necessary. Autumn teaches us to let go and release things that no longer serve us both physically and emotionally. Allow yourself this time to let go completely. Begin to lift your head, walking through center. Come to walk your hands off the mat onto the left side this time. Right hand comes on top of your left hand. Softening the head and the neck, breathing space into any areas of resistance or tension. And begin to walk your hands back in front of you and come up to a tabletop position. Ensure the wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees under hips. As you inhale for cow, open up through your chest, arch your spine. Tuck your tailbone round the back, chin to chest. Inhale, tilt your pelvis, gaze forward. Exhale, round and contract for cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale last time, and then return to a neutral tabletop position. Take a big breath in, reach your right arm high, and then as you exhale, thread your arm underneath your torso, shoulder and cheek meets the mat. An option is to keep your left hand here or extended forward in front of you. Begin to close down your eyes. Find a sense of ease in this pose instead of fighting it. How can you soften? Begin to bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder. As you take a breath in, push yourself up, right arm reaches high, peel it open. Exhale, bring the hand back to the mat. Other side, left arm reaches up, breathe in. As you exhale, thread your arm underneath, cheek and shoulder meets the mat. Option to bring your right arm forward, closing down the eyes, softening here. Begin to bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder, breathing in, pushing yourself up, left arm peels towards the sky. Breathing out, hand comes to mat. Begin to extend your right leg behind. And then from here, bring the whole leg around so that the foot is on the side. Big toe is in line with your knee here. And then begin to release the hips to the heels, surrendering, dropping the head. You're welcome to keep the toes tucked for a nice toe stretch, or maybe untucking them if this doesn't feel comfortable for you. Releasing as you exhale, using the breath out to let go. And slowly come forward, bring the right knee back in, and then begin to extend your left leg. Bring the leg all the way around to the side, big toe in line with your right knee. Then release your hips to your heel, drop your head, surrendering here. Gently come forwards, bring your left knee back in. We'll set up for puppy pose here. Walk your hands forwards, release the heart towards the ground. Forehead comes to the mat. An option is to bring a block underneath the forehead for some support, allowing the chest to melt closer to the earth. Gently come out of this pose, begin to walk your hands towards you, come back to a tabletop position. We'll come to pigeon pose on the right side. So bring your right knee behind your right wrist. Left leg slides back behind you, flexing your front foot to protect your knee. Take a full cleansing breath in. And as you breathe out, walk your hands forward, melt your whole upper body towards the ground. You're welcome to use a bolster here or a block, maybe even a blanket to place underneath your right hip for some support. Knowing not to push too far from your edge, finding that edge and staying there, allowing your body to naturally surrender and let go. Letting go to the change can be really difficult, can be overwhelming and scary to surrender to something new, that be a new season, a new chapter in your life, a new job, a new place to live in. But when we let go, we make room for new exciting and more aligned visions to come to fruition. Releasing the old allows us to feel lighter, less weighed down, and more free. Gently raise your heads. Begin to come onto your hands. Lean into your right hip as you bring your whole left leg around. Left foot comes next to your right hip, stacking the knees here. If stacking the knees is too uncomfortable, you can come into a cross-legged position instead. Gomu Mukhasana cow face pose. Draw your right arm towards the sky. Flip the hand so that it's facing the back of the room. Walk the hand down your spine. The left hand comes around and finding the fingers here. If you can't find the fingers, you can use a strap or a belt instead, or just reaching for the fingers without holding onto them is just fine. Finding that stretch in the shoulders, drawing the crown of your head tall towards the sky. Gently release the fingers. Begin to walk your hands out in front. Drop the head, release the whole upper body. Begin to walk your hands back towards you, untwisting the legs here, coming back to our tabletop position. Pigeon pose on the left side this time, left knee behind the left wrist. Slide your right leg behind you. Walking the hands out in front, using a blanket underneath the left hip if that feels comfortable, or supporting your head. and ever so gently lifting your head, walking your hands back towards you. Begin to lean onto your left hip as you bring your right leg all the way around, right foot next to left hip, stacking the knees here for Gomukhasana. If this feels too uncomfortable stacking the knees, you can cross the legs. Go ahead and raise your left arm towards the sky, left palm to the back of the room. Right arm comes around, clasping the fingers here or holding on to that strap or belt. Begin to carefully release the fingers. Walk your hands out in front, drop the head, allow the whole upper body to melt towards the knees. Go ahead and slowly lift the head, walk the hands back towards you. Uncross the legs, bring them long out in front of you, flexing your feet. Take a big breath in, then releasing the upper body towards your legs as you breathe out. Maybe holding on to the feet, the legs, or just placing the hands to the side. Not forcing the stretch here, just letting yourself surrender to the pose. Begin to walk your hands back towards you, rising up. And using your hands, guide your right foot next to your left hip. Use your left hand to hug your right knee as you gaze over your right shoulder for a twist. Taking a big breath in as you lengthen your spine and twisting just a little bit more as you exhale. Then begin to slowly unravel, placing the right foot next to the left. Then begin to guide your left foot next to your right hip, using your right hand to hug your left knee as you gaze over your left shoulder. Breathing in, draw the crown of your head towards the sky. Exhale, twist. Begin to unravel your spine. Guide your left leg next to your right. We'll make our way on our back here ever so gently. Come into bridge pose. So you can use a block here for some support. Ensure that your middle finger can graze the back of your heels. As you inhale, lift your hip up high, pressing firmly into the heels. And if you are using a block, placing it on your sacrum, the flat part on your lower back. Letting yourself release here. And super gently we'll come out of our bridge pose. So lift your hips high, remove the block, and slowly release your hips to the earth. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a loving hug of compassion, of acceptance. And we'll come into our last pose together, Shavasana. One option here is to come into reclined butterfly pose, if you would like. So soles of the feet can touch and allow the knees to gently release to the ground. You can use blocks underneath the knees for some support. Or you can go ahead and come into Shavasana with the legs extended long in front. Palms facing the sky, gently closing your eyes. Together, let's take a full, deep cleansing breath in. And as you exhale, release anything that you no longer need. Take another deep breath in. And letting go as you exhale. Allow your body to be soft, to be heavy, to melt deeper and deeper into the ground. Releasing the old, just like a tree releases its leaves, allows us to feel lighter, less weighed down, and more free. Allow yourself to surrender to these last few moments of peace and presence. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring some gentle movements into your body, wiggling your fingers, your toes. If you're in reclined butterfly pose, using the hands to guide your knees together. Draw your knees in towards your chest and come to lay on your side in a fetal position, taking a few moments here to soak up this rebirth. When you feel ready, no need to rush. You can meet me in a comfortable seated position. Autumn teaches us that there is a need to slow down, to let go, and to trust that when we do so, we too will bloom again in the spring. You can bring your hands in front of your heart center in a prayer position. Lift your thumb to your forehead. We bow, Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Have a beautiful rest of your day.